Well, hello. This is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. What's going on, bro?
I'm still sick.
Yeah. You're sick and crazier than normal today.
Why do you think I'm crazy?
I don't know. I had to listen in the pre-thing where you just kept saying words, and you don't really realize, how much until you're picking up everything through headphones. That's enough to drive somebody crazy. It really
I was
is.
just asking him questions.
I don't care. I really. If there was a F level given right here, 0. If there was a less than 0 Fs given during this process,
That'd
that's
be
where
the
I'd
negatives.
be. It would be negative Fs given.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I showed you the pod, the Podbean.
Mm-hmm.
So, podcasting site. It is kind of cool. So, hello, Podbean people. Kind of a cool site. I'm still learning the ins and outs of whatever. Obviously, uploading and going through that process is pretty self-explanatory. Actually, it's not. I have to go through like 3 pages to get back to where is the manage button on this. So I keep going, and I find it. And I tell myself I'm going to remember where it's at until I go through and I go to click it again, and I'm like, where did it go? So it was a good struggle. And I did it at like 3 o'clock in the morning last night.
Yeah, I need to feel better so I can learn how to do it all myself.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Most of it can be done in here. Like when I come in and I put the computer, whatever we did the night before, we'll just go ahead and, push it up. And then, Facebook Live or not Facebook, but, YouTube Live. So, but it is kind of neat. We've already had, plenty of downloads and staying true to our form, making sure we get a, 1 show episode or whatever done a day.
Yeah.
So that is good.
Do you think you'll ever actually truly go live?
I mean, sure. There's benefits. There's benefits to going live. Like if somebody was like right now and they're looking on YouTube, there are people, out of YouTube or out of, whatever. Somebody's live and they'll click on and go. I don't know because I'm not that guy. Like generally I avoid unless there's like really hot chicks and chicks are doing something, or it's my friends who drink a ton and I know they're going to be doing something stupid. Like, let me click on. And then generally nobody's doing anything. They're going, we're having a great time and whatever. And I'm like, okay, so I'm looking technically through your eyes, through your phone, out into a field, and it's like this big. So I call it a wrap. But yeah, I mean, I've done live radio before. That's actually the only, that's why this seems to be kind of cumbersome for me, because before it was, hey, live 90, we would just boom, go right into it. We would do everything live. As soon as we clicked off at the end of the night and signed off and all right, we'll see you back tomorrow. It's blah, 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 whatever. We're out, cool, good show, leave. That was awesome because that's all I did. And then I just wandered off into my existence. This now is, as soon as we're done, we've got to go through keywords and, analytics and this and upload and then upload to this site, that site, this. And yeah, it comes with a lot more shenanigans than I was
expecting.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still good. I still dig it. And, it's neat. I do like, being on a different platform because, Podbean is an actual podcast site. You know what I mean? Versus being on YouTube, people are searching for zillions of other things. Then maybe they'll see a keyword and maybe it'll come up. Maybe they'll click or not. I mean, we're getting very good views and very good, information back from YouTube, which, that's kind of where we started. So we'll always post our stuff to YouTube, but I like the Podbean.
Better than YouTube.
It's interesting because while I was doing all this, I was listening to other people's podcasts. Some good, some good, some bad. And, looking at, and it was weird because I would go through their archives to see how long they've been doing it. Not a lot of people are doing daily shows. You know what I mean? Regular radio. And from all the blogs that I'm catching on other podcast sites, I always need new podcast and whatever. And I'm very monogamous. When I listen to Howard Stern and I listen to like Drew and Mike in Detroit, that's it. I like Drew and Mike, but if Howard Stern was playing, like if he had a cool guest, then I'd listen. If he had somebody notable on the show, then I'd switch and kind of double dip my loyalty. But when it comes to this, I don't know if I'd listen. I like to, once I listen to something, I like to listen listen again and get to know the people and go from there. So it's pretty neat. I'm all hopped up on Adderall today. I know we had that conversation when I asked y'all to go next door and grab me a tea, that I'm drinking tea and not Diet Dew because I technically run on Diet Mountain Dew. Man, Adderall is so awesome. Like my brain all day has just been.
Does that make you want to stop vaping?
Why would it make me want to stop vaping?
I don't know. I feel like because of
vaping and drinking fluid.
No, because you said like you're taking a break on the Diet Dew. It's like I'm thinking, oh my God, what's he gonna do next? Is he gonna stop vaping for a minute too? Because like Dew is like your natural, like.
Well, it's just a constant. Like if I had an IV of caffeine to just be pumping through me, I'm a pretty high energy guy, and that doesn't come without need for fuel. I've got to have caffeine or something in my system to keep me, going and energized. So, Diet Mountain Dew, it's it does the trick. But I don't know, it's just weird. My stomach was kind of upset like yesterday and whatever, and I was like, I am pouring, caffeinated, absorbic acid and whatever and all this stuff. My body seems to be better with it than not. It's just my stomach was a little messed up. And when I went to the gas station on the way in, to the store today, I was like, oh, maybe I'll grab this or and then I went, no. I was like, tea. I'm going to see if I can, get down with, the caffeine tea. Plus I make at home, I don't drink, soda when I get home. I generally take like the Crystal Light packet things, and they come in all different like flavoring, like just flavored water. So the one that we had was a tea flavored one, and I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So I've been drinking that when I get home, and it's good. Like I'm pounding the water down at home. So I wanted something tea flavored. So who knows? Maybe it's a change of seasons with the with the change of seasons in our weird window to outside. Maybe that has something to do with it, but who knows? It never sticks. I always go back to the Diet Dew.
Oh my gosh. How are your legs today?
My legs.
Yeah, because before they were like super sweaty, or they would hurt so much to where you got to stand up.
Well, no, it wasn't my legs hurting. It's this chair and my buttocks. Like it is. Yeah, I went Forrest Gump on you there got a shot in my buttocks. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like tailbone and whatever, dude, this chair's quitting. I should go get some of that like egg crate, like foam material, like people that they had a regular bed and then they were just like, oh, I'm at Walmart. Let me buy that $8, like it looks like egg crate foam, and you put it under there, which somebody did. And I was like, well, that made your bed more comfortable. I think I'm going to do it to this chair. I'm going to be sitting up like this high. I'm going to have like just either that or putting a pillow under it or something. Cause it does wonders. But we were here for a long time yesterday. So we were here for a long time, and yeah, my butt hurt.
We were here for an hour.
That's the literal, why are you so butthurt over there? I was butthurt. My butt hurt. Like, there ain't no two ways about it. My butt hurt. In other interesting news, I made my first meme today. It is so much easier. I thought everyone was like a genius. Like, what do you have to know, like Photoshop to make a meme or whatever?
Every year it gets easier and easier.
Dude, I went and memed, dude. I'm still not over the whole flag thing and the protests and all the shenanigans, right? I can't really deal with it. So today, I noticed every country person and whatever. You're over here. There we go. Every country,
No, I thought he was trying to chime in. That's why I was about to help him real quick.
It doesn't matter. I don't have the mic on. So, yeah, because I wouldn't be picking up external sounds and whatever anyways.
That would have been so
Peanut
fun.
Gallery. If it said, hey, I want to be on the show, we would add a talk about it, but you didn't have that talk. It was a sit-in. And then, obviously, Lord knows you can behave yourself, unlike her. Don't ask me how she weaseled her way into whatever, but...
I got your views.
You did. It just... Who's that special girl who sits and says weird things in the corner? Like, I'm getting feedback like, oh, that is so kind of you to do something with her and make her feel important and whatever before you put her back on her special bus and let her drive out of here.
You're so
That's what the people are
mean.
saying. That's what the people say. I didn't say that. I mean, I didn't correct them when they said it, but that's what the people say. But yeah, all the stupid stuff with I stand for whatever, right? And dude, I know you don't see it, and which is funny because I seem to take a higher overall political and sociological view of, race issues and, minority issues in the, everything that I see, whether it be social media, whether it be on the news, because I do watch news and Fox News, and I listen to, I think it was one of the dudes, I think it was Newt Gingrich or whatever, don't quote me on that, but he was talking about the protest and doing whatever. And I mean, it is ridiculous. Like everything that they're saying, and I hear this from, from minority communities, online and friends that I have and whatever. That whole thing with Matt when we were joking around the other day
When you
about,
called him a racist.
I was like, dude, what you're saying sounds extremely racist, right? The new term where people are real quick when you just kind of go, hey, that's great. You want to protest? Just do it over there so I don't have to see it, and just know your place, and go ahead and do it. It's everywhere. I don't know what you see. That's great for y'all to do it. I just absorb everything. I feel like I'm plugged in the computer every day, and it's crazy with the look. I don't care what they protest, and I don't care about whatever, but just don't do it over here, and don't do it. People are burning their jerseys on like Pittsburgh Steelers jerseys because they didn't come out for the national anthem. There are so many rednecks. Well, I'll never watch football again, and like they're taking videos of them burning their jerseys. So, I mean, it's a real thing. Now, let me go ahead and guess. That dude's that upset and that passionate. I'm going to go ahead and guess he doesn't have a lot of black friends, right? Because most people that have fucking, friends that are African American or, Hispanic, Latino, whether, whatever the, minority group of whoever, whatever way you want to look at it, you understand the plight of your friend, right? Like, look, I'm fine. I don't get this. But, having empathy towards another and their situations and understanding historically, that's fine. You go ahead and do whatever, but do it over there so I don't have to see it. Just go ahead. And that's the largest, like, dude, it's fine, but our flag and our country, our flag and our country. No, it's everybody's flag and it's everybody's country, right? Just happens to be, and in a manner that you don't like it. And it's crazy town. So I made a meme. Everyone was starting with, I stand for the national anthem and I stand for our country. And they were, it's just like a little, I guess you could just like a filter you could put over your, your profile picture, and everybody had it. And of course I look, and everybody that had it is extremely pro-white, and they're extremely pro-Trump, and they don't have any black friends on their, on their friends list. Cause I snoop. I'm a snooper. Because I'm building a sociological, just an overall observation, and I look and go, no, yeah, you couldn't, whether you just aren't around people or you're just not friends with those kind of people, or you live in an area where there are none and whatever, and what are they doing? And it's crazy. And, and there was white players are standing, for the anthem and black players aren't, and this. And then the next thing, the amount of crime that's committed in the U.S., the same thing Matt kind of got into. That it's 13% of the general population, and then whatever, and how many shootings are involved in whatever. And I'm like, you say that white and black is equal, but that's 13%.
Really
That's 13% versus, 49%, right? But the numbers are the same. But if you look at a mathematical equation and you break it down, no, that's an exponential high, number for somebody that's 13% of the country. But dude, all those same people keep throwing those things up there, like bing, bing, and they're throwing them, and I'm just like, I feel like, I feel uncomfortable for you. Like, they're not saying, and they'll be the first one, I'm not racist or I'm not this and that, but this is this and that, numbers don't lie. And I'm like, you're not a math whiz, are you? You're not a smart one. And dude, it's people that have been on my Facebook feed forever. And I didn't know they just didn't like the other people as much as they do. I mean, granted, they're random people on Facebook. I haven't seen them forever, right? It's not like I hang out with them. I only hang out with like 4 people, so kind of makes it easy. I kind of know how the 4 people I hang out with feel. But yeah, it's been a whole thing. So my epic meme, you'll like this. Let me see. I'll flip the computer around for you. It made me happy. And it created quite a little stir. I had quite a few people I don't know if that's what I was going for. I wanted to peeve people off.
It's always good to stir the pot.
It really is. And it was the, I stand for this and I stand for this and blah, blah, blah. So here's what me and my infinite wisdom decided to put up.
I stand when I pee, in case y'all wanted to know. I thought we were sharing.
Because everyone's, I stand. So, okay, I stood earlier. Well, dude, I don't have anything to say. Well, I stand when I pee. I just thought we were sharing. I also like spaghetti, right? I just threw something else in there. But that made me very happy, right? Dude, you see the little trail of shenanigans going on underneath it? Like a bunch of people, and I even had some that tried to poke me back into an argument, like, what did old buddy say? And it's funny because I haven't seen this guy in forever, but he's a good dude. He just he was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't you been posting a ton of stuff about this issue on your Facebook page? ? Sorry, I couldn't resist pointing it out. Right? Like the fact that, just when I did that was obviously comical. It was an attempt to, I stand. And it's everyone, American flag. And, just every country type person, I stand for the American flag. I stand. So I was like, I stand when I pee. Just in case any of y'all wanted to know, I thought we were sharing, right? So yeah, so he thought that was in some kind of like argumentative. I was like, no, it was a joke. That's funny. I'm a funny guy. So, and that was my first meme ever. And I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud.
Are you going to make another one?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, dude, I want it. If people didn't come in, I would have memed myself crazy. Like, I could have spent like 5 hours on meme. Just weird stuff. I would.
You want for no reason.
I just make weird memes. I'm just going to now annoy people with memes. I'll show you people. But, so with any of this stuff going on, see, this is what's great about this country. Like, you've mentioned nothing about the protest or about this or any of the stuff that's going on. And it's literally, we're at the brink of nuclear war, and we're all sitting around going, I stand, I sit, I stand. Well, I kind of, I wobble a bit, like everyone's got something to say about it. But what is funny is there's certain people, and I get it. Like, I had a buddy of mine say, look, with all this political and all this, racial crap and whatever going on, I'm not dealing with anything.
Exactly why I'm not saying anything.
I'm just going to do whatever, right? But then there is something, if you don't pay attention to what's going on in the world, you won't be surprised you will be surprised when something happened. Like, there was a law, like if a law is passed that you have to do whatever and you face a fine or imprisonment if you don't do something. And you're like, what? They can't do that. This is a free country. Yeah, it was free for you to also pay attention and maybe go vote, against this, but everyone had their head down. So there's just certain things, and everything's moving so fast in the world today that you can't, you can, right? You can just go, don't really care. Like, dude,
Not
seriously.
really. Like, everyone is like, people say like they don't care, but they actually do care, because after like talking to you guys, like hearing you guys talk about it, like made me want to go watch it, but I'm not gonna base my opinion on it, because see how that ended up for Matt. You called him a racist.
I didn't call him, but what I'm saying is there's a new form of what people are considering racism, that they're not calling anyone a name or doing whatever. They're just very aloof to anyone else's situation, right? Like, nope, I don't care. Doesn't affect me. Everything's fine. Go do that over there, right? And if you would have researched or looked at any of the things I looked at today, dude, there were plenty of people that came out and went, oh, so it's okay for black people to do something just as long as it doesn't bother y'all, right? So if it doesn't like annoy you, we can do it. But the fact that it's annoying you, we can't do it. You do understand what that is, right? That is blatant racism, right? Or white privilege to go, nope, the rest of us are going to do this, but all of y'all just go over there. And, even with couldn't they find somewhere else to have, the protest? Why does it have to be about this? Like, just get it over there, right? You're shooing people away. Like, just, you go over there. We don't care, nor do we care what you feel or think or whatever. And we're supposed to be one America, right? So
It's a learned behavior. Hopefully it's going to die out.
Well, you would think so, but there are also a lot of y'all that I talk
lot
to
of y'all.
in here that I talked to, I was on the phone with people from Texas. I'm going to be country for probably, and because of this, I've had to use my country voice more than I wanted to. So,
You say soda and it triggers me every time.
yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, it's good. But well, you know what? Here, I'll go ahead and allow you on the mic now.
You're so nice.
Well, no, it's either that or he's just gonna keep talking or whatever and chiming in. And I like the fella, but I also would,
Like-
being able to hear you. Or I'm sure people are like, wonder what that dude had to say. You nodded a lot and whatever, and just like people talk about her getting on the small bus when she leaves out of here. The same thing, So
Suck
what you will do,
it.
if you haven't noticed, we all have the mics turned sideways, so you will speak into the mic sideways. Yeah, I saw you wrestling with it. It is like an arm, so don't break it. I had to yell at a kid. Oh, I didn't not actually yell at a kid.
Be on the short bus too.
Yeah. No, we should be recording all this to see,
Oh my god.
No, and you have to and not talk you talk directly into the side. Do you see what I'm doing? You would put it directly in front of your face, and you can move
oh my
that.
God, Jake, you're
and
talking
put it-
to him like
there
he's
you go.
slow.
Well, dude, he's been wrestling with it for a minute. If I would have just turned on the mic and was like, "Cool, you're on. Hey, blah blah blah," but it seemed to take a little bit longer. Jakey likes everything to happen in the exact way that he wants it to. What you know about that? So,
Control freak.
yeah. Well, dude, if not, you guys would just sit around and stare at the ceiling and talk about Brisk tea and whatever. And we didn't even
Going
click the button.
swimming.
Oh my god. So,
Go
But-
swimming with sharks and go swimming.
no,
with
you're gonna have to speak directly into the mic, or you can no talk at all. See, that's white privilege. You guys can't. Oh, you can barely see his head. He's a black man. I will tell
oh
you.
my god.
I will tell you how to
stop.
speak into the mic, and you will do it exactly as I say. It's weird stuff. It's weird stuff in radio when you go to do through this. You talk this way. These mics are directly set to pick up, in front of you. So we'll do a little radio talk in the mic 101.
It's my bad. I'm so used to looking at people when I talk to them.
Yeah. Well, no, you can. I mean, again, people thought it was funny when we did radio and when we were doing whatever.
I thought you guys didn't look
We
at each
didn't.
other. Yeah.
We started doing it, and then as certain things, after we were doing it for a while, I would be sitting this way, he would be facing this way. You're just talking and listening to verbal cues, and once you talk to somebody long enough, you know when he's going to say something or when he's going to pause. There's no need to stare at one another. So yeah, it was kind of neat. We'd have our laptops out and be doing a ton of other stuff or working the board and never, really never making eye contact. I think I looked at him before the show and after the show, maybe on breaks. But yeah, there's a lot of early teens, mid 20s, 22 maybe, that come in here that what's going on? Nothing, man. This stuff's killing me. Wow, what's happening? Oh, this, and this, and they have no idea. Or yeah, I think I heard something about that. I'm just not paying attention. It affects, any laws or any shenanigans that are going to be put in place is going to affect y'all for a long period of time. So, but don't worry. I mean, there's some in and around that age that are paying attention and doing whatever, but definitely not you.
I don't keep up to date with
I'm
the news,
butthurt.
but whenever it's time to vote, I do get myself educated on what we're voting for and what we're voting on.
So at least you'll have an idea of
Yeah.
of what to expect in the
'Cause
future.
A lot of times the news is just too depressing, and either something stupid's going on with Trump or something else.
Something
like, there's
stupid's always
always-
going on with Trump.
There's always something bad going on, and I don't just too much bad stuff going on in everyday life. I don't want to hear the world's problems too.
Yeah, I mean but that is the world we live in, right? That is the, and that's one of the biggest gripes about about the whole, we respect the flag in America and all this and that. There's a lot of when your take on it is like, dude, there's so much bad. Like somebody got shot over here, a couple kid at a daycare center, like a home daycare center. I saw the news for like 3 seconds today, and a kid got a hold of a gun at like if your house was a daycare and you took care of like 8 kids and did whatever. One kid shot 2 other kids, found a gun unattended and shot somebody. You know what I mean? It's like nothing like having your morning coffee and just hearing about people, getting killed and shot and whatever. So Yeah, it's shenanigans. There's a lot of stuff, but then again, in order to have a proper worldview and not go everything's great and rainbows and whatever, and then
Sunshine and rainbows.
the world kind of has some really creepy stuff going on. I mean, obviously, other than that, if it wasn't for this whole controversy, I wouldn't be so, on top of it. But it irks me that people feel that way, and then they'll argue until. There was a picture of Kid Rock, and he's wearing the flag, right? He's got it draped around him like a cape. And I had this conversation when I was in Chicago. I was with a patent attorney. It was somebody's friend's wife. And ironically, we had cool intellectual conversation the whole time that we were at this concert. And she was like, I'm fairly certain that isn't flag code, that he had the flag on a mic stand and it was hanging and like touching the ground. But yet everybody there was America, right? Because it was like a country concert, 4th of July. And when you look at the U.S. flag code of what you're supposed to do, and it's supposed to be held high, and it's supposed to be here, and it's never supposed to be worn. It's not supposed to be worn in selling of a product or in clothing or whatever. You can wear red, white, and blue, but any depiction of the flag, for clothing and whatever, if you actually read the,
I didn't know that part. I knew a flag can never touch the ground, and you're supposed to do certain things.
The flag code is a lot of words, but you read through it, and it's funny because they were like, where was everybody when this was happening if you care so much about the flag? And I went, yeah, right? Everyone applauds and America and whatever, but if you're going to be a stickler about things that you need to respect the flag, you're breaking flag code. And how many of you have actually read the U.S. flag code and whatever? So it's shenanigans. Not saying that I'm smarter than I'm smarter than the average bear, right? Just this is a great indicator. Stare at the computer box long enough. Oh yeah,
you self-taught yourself how to use memes. I mean, my mom wouldn't be
yeah,
able to do that.
give me a dap on that. Tell me that isn't gangster, dude. I memed it up today.
And you got all this set up. Yeah, you're smarter than the average bear.
Yeah, and a lot of it was trial and error. And see, I do things backwards. I do backwards math, and it's funny when I read a book or if I read a magazine, I always read backwards, right? And I skim through, and then I pick where I'm going to go. And even with mathematics, if I'm looking at a obviously with business, well, hey, we did this, we did that. I'm observational enough to where I remember, and my memory is good. So I'll run through all these things, and I'm boom, 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 and we did this and this, and we had 4 orders, and the 4 orders are approximately $2,600 a piece. We made $36,000, or $36,000 was the gross. Did whatever, boom, 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 boom. We should be about here, and I'll be within like 1,000 or 2. And it's weird because I can do the math backwards, and I can do some of these. Even when it came to this, by ear, I know how everything was supposed to sound. So I knew how this was supposed to sound, but when I was doing it the way it was showing me to, I couldn't get it that way. So what I did is I went backwards, talked into it, found out that one side of the mic plays better than the other. There's the sound. Boom, 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 boom. Started, worked my way over, and and now you can get it done. But it's just weird. I think anything you stare at long enough, and if you care to look at it for a minute, you can figure it out. At least that was my granddaddy's advice to me. He was like, that man ain't that smart over there. You can look at him. What is he? Puts his pants on just like you and whatever, one leg at a time. And, of course, after my grandfather told me that, I was like 9. I literally tried putting my pants on both legs at the same time. I had quite a few bruises on my elbows and arm, like just trying to jump in my pants and get them on. It didn't work that way. So I guess one leg at a time is the way to go.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was it. That was
just interesting.
She's going to try that tomorrow. She's going to come in with a cast.
That's how I get my pants on.
2 legs.
Yeah, just put them both in.
Well, that's because
jump, keep them in.
You wear like things that.
Please,
like
continue.
I can see you doing that for anything other than skinny jeans.
I do that with my skinny jeans.
Oh.
Well, yeah, because you're sitting on the bed and you have to squeeze into them and then do whatever.
No, I'm standing because it's like if
No, you're not.
Yeah, you
have somebody videotape this.
Okay, I'll show you. I'll come here tomorrow with my jeans. I'll show you proof. I'll have actual proof.
I have watched you like disrobe and like put clothes on and clothes off in like 2 seconds with your whatever your long thing, and then this, and I gotta go somewhere and whatever, and leave and be like, I forgot my shoes, and come back in. I'm like, did you just do a wardrobe change? And yeah, I mean, but not one leg, not with both legs, because you will fall.
No,
Yes,
I
you
have
will.
proof. I can actually do this.
And you're-
Pictures or it doesn't exist.
Yeah, you have somebody do it at home. You fall and break your thing here, you're not getting on my insurance. It's not happening.
I mean, you do have
I'll
custody.
push you outside and push you in front of Maria's door and be like, somebody might want to come help this girl. She fell.
Heck nah. I'll show you proof.
That's a true story. I have no shame in that. Yep, there you go. I'll help you up, walk you over there, and just shove you
I'm
down
able
and be
to
like, "All right."
literally, even when I was in here, you were looking so shocked because I was able to just put a shirt on, keep it all moving, and I was able to do it so fast. Like, I can do that.
I mean, women are crafty. I've seen y'all, like, put, clothes on and under and this and take bras off and put bras on and whatever, and I'm just baffled. I'm like, what do you do? Like, I thought Superman was pretty slick for going in the telephone booth and and coming out with his underoos on or whatever. But yeah, no, you guys are pretty crafty.
Gotta think that's kind of hot in the summertime, wearing a super suit under his regular clothes.
Yeah, but I mean, he comes from another planet, and it was an icy cold planet and whatever, which you'd think would make him overheat, but he's super. So maybe he's got like super climate control.
Controls his body temperature using the sun.
Yeah, he's got something. You know what was funny? Like, staying on that similar topic. I had a friend, female friend of mine. She's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met, and I don't know what's up with chicks in social media, like what they portray on. Like, I've got her on Facebook, right? Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. But on Facebook, in person, she is the nicest person, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nice. I mean, I've heard her get a little grouchy on occasion. On the minute I see Facebook, it's you may not like me, but you will respect me. These bitches, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard her talk like that. But when it comes to like typing or whatever, she's pretty about it. And I couldn't help myself. Like, dude, I think I'm developing a weird social media like problem where I have to argue with people now. Like, it's a thing. Because I was like, no, nobody has to like you nor respect you, right? Why would somebody have to respect you? And how would you really know if they did, right? And to your face, hey, nice to meet you, whatever. Asshole, scumbag, right? They're going to be nice to your face, but you can't force somebody to respect you. They may act respectful in your presence, but to actually respect you, you can't know that unless somebody obviously every time, dude, you know what? I respect you, man. You're all right. If they tell you a bunch of times, okay, either he's kidding or he really respects me, because I've respected some people, never told him.
I don't think people actually like think of it that way. They just think about if you're gonna respect them face to face. Like, they don't care what you do behind my back. You just gonna respect me in my presence.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing.
Because like we'll do that for our parents. A lot of us that are grown up being taught not to swear around our parents, instinct will not swear around adults or people that are like really old compared to us. We just automatically do it, but we don't really think about the matter of respect. We just kind of like,
dude, it's general behavior, right?
Yeah.
You're going to behave a certain way.
It's common sense.
Yeah.
Right. But then again, to go and put it out on Facebook or, to put it in a social media form that you may not like me, but you're going to respect me. Like, you better respect me or I'll, and it's weird. See, that's what I don't understand. Now, I made the funny meme because I wanted to jack with people and whatever, right? Because everyone was doing an I stand thing. So I stand also. When I pee, when I'm getting something out of the microwave, I tend to be on my feet. Like, are we I stand for a bunch of things? Like, I stand in line at the grocery store. Like, are we just going to find ourselves doing weird things and just point out the fact that we stand? Of course that's not what I mean. You know what I mean. But yeah, to put that out there, and it was weird because I told her and I was like, no, nobody has to do anything. Oh no, they will respect me. And I'm like, wow, you're really going to run around just wondering every day, like, hey, what's going on? Not a lot. Do you respect me? Tell me you respect me. If you don't, we're going to sit here and hang out until you respect me. Like, wow, what are you doing? Like, why are you so angry? Why are you so concerned with respect? You know what I mean? Like, nobody thinks about you the minute you're not around. You know what I mean? I don't think about these people until they pop up on the Facebook, and then I got to get mad and come up with funny. I'm going to meme myself silly. They never should have made it easy enough for me to figure out how to make a meme.
Don't you technically like have to deserve someone else's respect? I'm not saying like if you're like in a workplace, like, and you're like an employee and you're like expecting all your coworkers to respect you, don't you have to like earn that?
I mean, I guess, but see, that's the psychological thought process behind it. Like, I don't need you to respect me. I don't ask anyone to. I don't care if you do or not. I just don't understand the weird things that people care about, or they seem to care about when they're in a mood. And then, I'll see them out and they don't seem to be like scanning the crowd to see who respects them and who doesn't, I don't see, when or how, but I don't like, generally for me to ever vocalize like I really respect somebody, they had to have done something really cool or been like a super awesome person or something. And even then, I don't think I'd say it unless I was talking to y'all and went, man, you know what, dude, I really respect that dude, man. He does this, this, and this. Like, but even then, I may feel it. Like, I feel and think I have a lot, internalizing going on inside of my skull, right? I know, if I like somebody, if I respect somebody, or if I, whatever. But I don't understand the need to vocalize it. And I vocalize just about everything. Like, dude, I'm sitting here. I could be at home on my couch, and I'm vocalizing the fact that people need to vocalize being respected, that I will do. But in my personal existence, I don't care what you think about me. Like, like me, don't like me, whatever. I'm going to go home and play with my dogs. I'm going to chase a girl around in like T-minus 2 days. Today's Wednesday. By Friday, I'll be chasing something around. Come here, give me, like, give me a boob and give me a beer, and that'll tide me over. I'll get the footballs on Sunday, and I'll be good until Thursday or Friday again. So I just don't. There's just a lot of things that we can care about, and I guess maybe I think and care about way too many circumstances in life and in a worldview that, like, personally, I really don't care. Like, I wouldn't care if you liked me or didn't like me. You probably hate me with all the fucking shenanigans I have to deal with her and all the crap.
Wait, how does that go straight to
you.
me?
I don't know. You're sitting over there.
It went straight from you all the way to me. I'm like, somebody would hate you for me because of me.
No. I was saying you probably don't like, and hate's a strong word. Why'd you have to take it there?
You said hate.
Okay, so maybe I did. I don't know. I was using words I wasn't thinking. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things. I don't know. I care about a million things from like a scientific standpoint, so I don't really care like interpersonally anymore. I just don't. Other than like the four main people that like are the nucleus of my existence, I kind of care. But and if they didn't,
including your mom.
It's a mom. She kind of has to. They kind of have to. I mean, I try not to do things to make her angry and make her not, but I mean, I'm fairly certain she thinks I'm all right. I don't bother them too much, right? When they need something, I try and do it. Sometimes they'll show up late because I don't. Well, because you asked me about all the holiday things I either go to or celebrate. I don't celebrate any holidays either.
I swear I thought you at least celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
I mean, I
Or
have.
Halloween.
No, Halloween.
No,
This
Halloween.
guy.
Do Halloween.
Yeah, you guys are children. I don't need to do Halloween. I'm expected to give people candy and crap. I'm over it.
Trick or treat, but party.
Yeah, and dude, I've partied a lot in my day. Have you not listened to everything I've said over the last year?
I believe you.
I party on a Tuesday. I don't need a special occasion, right? There's no telling I may not drive home tonight. Woo! And I'll be in here hating my life tomorrow. I can do whatever I want, so what does it matter? A special day, and I'm really not a big fan of dressing up and doing stuff. I'm not.
Okay, that's a legit reason for Halloween, because Halloween gives you an excuse to be exceptionally different for a party.
Well, you know what? Okay, and here's how my head works, right? Like, it was my generation where everyone became a slutty everything for Halloween, which was cool for a while. Because I'm like, I really don't like my buddy's girlfriend. Seems kind of like a drag. And then she comes out as like
all the Harley Quinns everywhere.
She comes out with like a, she's a slutty nurse or, dirty school teacher. And I'm like, I'm like, now I see why you like her. She's wearing a short skirt, boobs are hanging out, and she's acting different. Like, this is crazy. But I kind of got after. I like it. To me, it is stupid and absurd that Halloween, right? Spooky and scary and whatever. If you go back to the, the beginning basis of it, the Halloween of the Dead, or the Holiday of the Dead and all that stuff and whatever, right? You go through Halloween from what it actually is, and now it's just a reason for every chick on the planet to dress slutty and do whatever. And it would be different if they were really slutty when they did it. Now, some of them do.
They're just toys.
Some of them do. I have seen some like, hey, isn't she like, no. And next thing you know, she's, going airtight in the corner and there's 3 dudes, I'm like, oh boy, she really took this Halloween serious, didn't she? You know what I mean? Like she's really about it. But yeah, that bothers me from a psychological standpoint that, why do you have to, if you want to be a hooker every day of the week, own that crap, right? Dress just come in with boobs out like on a Wednesday. Again, it goes back to my I can party any day of the week. If you want to be that way every day. I mean, not unless you're wearing a Captain America outfit and you're, Wonder Woman or Michelle's Wonder Woman.
Michelle's going to be Wonder Woman. I'm so excited.
I mean, yeah, I kind of did it every day for most part of the last year. I used to wear a tail.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
At least he's not afraid to be himself.
No, do what you want.
Like, I respect that.
Weirdly as
there we go with the respect.
Weirdly as it is, it's been like 2 months since I wore my tail, and I feel like my anxiety has picked up again. Like, I was too nervous to, like, be a part of this night, so I thought I was just going to sit aside, and, like, I kind of want to do it after all.
Well, yeah, you weaseled right in with your 17-minute mic setup and whatever. Over there talking with no mic. Yeah, you weaseled yourself in, sir. It's nothing. You're having a conversation. This happens to be, it's a bad joke. The black ball sitting in front of you or whatever. This thing. I was going to, Aaliyah's very comfortable. She is used to seeing balls in front of her face.
Oh my God.
That's the Clueless, the movie Clueless with whatever, when the girl had a nose job and whatever. And I've got a note from my doctor. And, I can't have any balls flying at my face. There goes your social life, whatever. I'm sorry, you're the only female in the room. If Matt was here, I would have given him the same thing. What, did you like balls? I don't know.
Odd. What's it called? No, that's what I just got to ask him that question about vegans.
What question?
Like, are you truly a vegan if you suck dick? Like, technically, isn't that cheating? Because you're taking it whole.
No, I think ingesting and mastication of the chewing process or whatever would have something to do with it.
I mean, you eat the white stuff. Yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah, but it's not an animal.
Humans
but
are
it's
animals.
a human.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, you would have to. But then you
That's
go
worse
to the
than
whole.
eating an animal. You're
mean,
eating a human.
No, it's not, because it hasn't gone through. It hasn't gone through the, through the process, of actually becoming anything. It's now,
It's
I mean, if you want to
babies.
be extra technical, that's cannibalism, but because you don't have to eat it. You don't have to eat it.
You don't eat it. You just swallow it.
Swallow it.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, I appreciate when they do that,
Yeah,
whatever,
people-
but not so much.
It's more of a preference. It's not something you have to do.
Yeah. No, here's one great thing about the world we live in. You don't have to do much. You can opt out of almost everything. And it's cool. It's fine. You can opt out of stuff. And hence that goes to the whole argument of, well, you've got to stand. No, you don't. We can show you that doesn't have to happen. Well, you have to do this. No. If you've ever dealt with a female, try that. Like, no, you can try and trick them and be like, no, you should do this. Or, no, you kind of have to. That's the whole point. No, not doing it. I've heard a lot of I'm not doing it in my day. I normally can trick them into doing it, though.
That's hilarious.
I'm good at the trickery.
That's hilarious.
Because my thing, I don't, again, how this conversation is going to this, but I like to make the mess, right? I like
the
to,
pot.
yeah, I like to, I could care less where or how it goes. I'm a mess maker. So there's a lot of girls who aren't down with that. And then there's a bunch that are like, I'm finding that are okay with it, don't mind. But it's always better if they seem to like it, right? I don't like doing anything just for my sake. If you don't dig it. I had a girl a long time ago. She was ironically our like half maid, like, would come over, clean the house, do whatever, and was friendly enough. And it was weird because, I wasn't like super attractive. She was kind of attractive, but she was kind of cool, but whatever. And, just didn't care either way. Like I didn't see myself ever trying to. But then there was a whole lot of, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I was like, dude, quit poking the bear. Like, leave me alone. If you keep messing with me, yes, you know what I mean? And of course, I'm going to push the envelope because if you say, no, I won't do this and that, be like, see, whatever. Dude, she pretty much said yes to everything. And I was like, what? But then when we did, and it was the, we're doing everything. And then I was like, okay, and of course I'm talking a bunch of trash in the process. Like, hey, all right, so I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out and, we're going to do this. And she was like, okay. And when I did, she was like, okay. And then like closed her eyes and went, and like, and I was like, oh, you look like you're being held up at gunpoint. Like, no pun intended, you kind of were. But that wasn't like a, I don't know if you've seen the movies in which that takes place. Most of them seem to be quite enjoying, the process, right? I kind of like that process. Yeah, it was. And then I was like, yeah. I mean, cool. Thank you for doing it. But yeah, you don't seem, no, it's fine. I just didn't want anything, to get in my eye or any of this. And I'm like, cool. But yeah, you're not really, that's not your thing. Like just coming from a guy with experience, you don't seem to enjoy it as much as others. So, we could try and work it into a system until you begin to like it. But that didn't do anything for me.
But that's no fun. That's
Yeah.
so much work.
It
you
is
gotta
so-
talk them into getting it happy about it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
It's like, forget it.
Yeah. No. The only time sexually when that is okay, like a guy doesn't care, is when you talk about the bad place. When you're, number one, number two, the good place, and then the not so bad place or not so good place. That you don't care if you like it or not. Like we're begging, like, come on, please, let me try, let me do. No. Okay, you can try. No. It seems it's like some Raiders of the Lost Ark crap. Like you're literally like, eventually I'm going to find my way into doing this. So that's a weird process. I think that was the only time I didn't care. Like, I don't care, F your feelings. I don't care what, like, I need to do this. I have to. That's like, I've done a lot of things. I've yet to do that. We need to do this. It took years sometimes.
Bucket list got to get complete.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, the little person. Did you see? Smack my glasses on that. This is why I don't wear my glasses when I was assuming I was going to read whatever, but this I got. There's like an APB out on the little person. Like when she shows up, like my buddy who works at the bar is like, God, when did he send that? I showed it to somebody. I showed it to old buddy who was in a little while ago. Oh, this is what I get. She's here. You see my eyeballs on the side, and then I go into I was like, "Ugh." I mean, I kind of hung out with somebody else and whatever. I'm not too excited to to mess around with I mean, don't get me wrong, if I see her, but I'm definitely not going to hunt. I'm not going to hunt her down like a like a trophy, a trophy thing or whatever. But if I do see her or whatever, yes, it'll be on like Donkey Kong. But yeah, so that was yesterday. And I had to fight off the thought, like, if I go home real quick, let the dogs out, maybe I should. And I was like, no, I'm still in afterglow from like last Saturday.
You stay in that glow, man.
I do.
I remember when you first came in, buddy, you're like, I'm glowing from this. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Did you just lose your virginity?
No, it was kind of like in like ultra spectacular hot girl virginity. Yes. Like, dude, that is like one of the top 5 of hottest girls I've ever been that close to.
Including your hot 19-year-old blonde, blue eyes.
I didn't do anything. I gave it away.
That still makes me mad. I cannot believe you blew that up for a relationship.
No, I was in love. It was stupid. Like, I would have been a coal miner
You're
for
19.
this chick.
You're in love with. You could be in love with your TV.
Yeah. No, I get it. I learned from it. No, but I mean, don't get me wrong. My girlfriend at the time was no slouch. There were like 30 dudes trying to get around her at any point. Like, I had to fight guys off. Like, it was, I'd leave her alone and like, oh, all right, I'll see you. Give her a kiss. Drive down the street and be like, oh, you know what? I forgot something. Let me pull. I'd pull back and there'd be a car there, and I'm like, what? And it was guy friends. You know, oh, Dennis is here and so, and I walk up and I'm like, yo, what are you, like, were you guys just parked across the street waiting for me to leave? Like, dude, you're going to give me a complex. And I was like, and she was like, oh, we're just friends. And I was like, as they're just, hi. You know, I'm like, I was like, hey, let me holler at you. I'm like, get the hell away from my girlfriend. I was like, I catch you over here again, dude. I'm going to hurt both of you. I was like, dude, yeah, you're friends. I got your friend right here, partner. Like, you need to get to stepping. I was not a pleasant, like, don't take my Kool-Aid or try and take my Kool-Aid. You know when dude's like, dude, you're a smoking hot, beautiful girl. And no offense, she wasn't all that fun to be around. She was just really hot. So anyone who was hanging out around her was hanging out around her that she was really hot. And she had a tendency to be a little, you know, yeah. So, yes. Somehow I tried to, like, you know, where you get like a horse, like a bucking bronco, that I'm going to tame this and then it's going to be a great horse and it'll be
I
great.
cannot believe you're comparing her to a horse.
What do I care?
So sad.
What do I care?
The respect for her is terrible.
Yo, in
I
some
respect
states,
this.
Some states, horses are valued more than people.
That's true.
Kill a horse, they'll hang you. Well, not hang you. That's extreme. They'll put you on the chair.
Yeah. Dude, I have little to no care nor respect for you're out of my existence now. You broke my heart and made me like this horrible person that I am today. I could have been Mr. Nice Guy. Like, imagine if I would have like, oh, and you know, I'd have like 38 kids and be mowing my grass and wearing black socks with checkered shorts.
You have so
Like, for real.
Because I really like to make this sticky. I have like a 3-time-a-day habit. So if I would have been with this person that long, like either she'd be, yeah.
God,
one every year, she'll probably
38.
die.
Yes. I don't know. My grandparents had
She
9
would have
kids.
made you get a
You
vasectomy or
said
something.
36 though.
Yeah, no, I keep going. I
I
keep going.
think that's a record.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can handle that.
Yeah. And she was
too
a
many
little person
kids.
too. She was tiny. She was only like
Her
5'3".
back would have gave out after like
Her-
probably the
her
12th
hips
kid.
would've snapped.
Yeah.
In like 4 different places. Like, bro, why
Shattered.
38? That's so many.
I don't know. I just used the word. I would have just kept going. Look, it's fine, right? If
I expected you to say 5, but oh my god.
Maybe a dozen.
No, I don't want. I mean, ironically, after dealing with you just every day reminds me why I would not want a child.
Papa.
No.
I mean, for the record, she's an adult now, so you can kick her out.
Yeah, no, I can't now.
You can't do that to a daughter. Dads can't do that to a daughter.
No, and she's not a daughter. She just, I need stuff and whatever. And I'm like, oh, hey. She does do some stuff, right? Like that whole thing with the, you know, oh, hey, I need whatever. And I'm like, oh, dude, if you asked me earlier in the day, like, hey, I got to pick up my sister or whatever. Can I borrow $10
I
or
didn't
whatever?
know about it until last minute. That's why I kept looking at my phone. I was
don't give
like,
a- well, the podcast went later than what does that have to do with the distance in which you had to drive, right? That's like, it's like a, you know, like a story math problem and whatever. And the
'Cause I
train
planned on
leaves here
asking
at this
you
time and does what?
afterwards.
I was like, man, I don't care what. And Matt was like, well, man, you probably have to pick her up if she get. I was like, I'm picking this girl up. She got family or whatever. And no. No, I don't. I'm like, she's probably an orphan. This has probably been a whole story the whole time. I live next door. She goes and like lives in a tree fort across the way.
Those are cool.
Yeah, there's no telling. I don't really know. I'm just kind of going off of what. All I know is you sleep here and sleep on the couch and do whatever.
That's a comfy couch. Anyone will crash there. Even India said that herself. She was like, oh, this is comfy. I would sleep here myself. And imagine having both of us here and we're both sitting on the couch. We will be knocked out.
Yeah. No, I've seen people fall out on that couch.
Get the spray bottle, like, get
Yeah, like a cat.
out.
Well, this has been an interesting story about nothing. I had literally nothing prepared, right? I kind of wanted to go into some other stuff, which but I got sidetracked on putting together the Podbean, Podbean stuff
And
or
a
whatever.
meme.
And the meme. That's right.
And
Dude, you
work.
can and work, right? So I did some things, right? So there's a reason why this was just, it was an interesting little chit chat, but it's not the way a normal show would go. So tomorrow I need to quit playing. I need to do the Podbeaning when I'm in here because that took up all my time before I came in last night and before. So I'll Podbean when I'm in here before we get on the air. Do this, do our normal stuff, but I need to prepare the show. I did find some really cool stuff on AskMen.com.
I feel like you were mostly late today because you had that work phone call. Did you?
And I had the work phone call.
And that was like 40 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that could turn into if we end up selling that product that we
Yeah, that would be good for business.
yeah. I mean, they're gonna purchase the trademark, purchase the the product in whole. We're gonna get an upfront payment. Then we're going to we're working out a licensing deal and whatever. The bad part is they don't understand the marketing that can be done with a click of the button versus old school, like, go out with leaflets and go put stuff in people's, like, it's old school thinking. But that's the world and business they live in. But when you own a brand and you can get brand, acknowledgement and notoriety and whatever through the avenues that are available now, dude, it's easy. And I've worked through it. I don't want to, nor do I actually have the capital to do it on that level. And it's awesome. You had it, dude. People thought you who were you when you came to work after you took the Adderall?
Dude, I've never been so focused. I was able to do stuff that I didn't even know I could do.
Yeah, no, the amount of focus, your neurons firing faster. Nootropics are they are the product of the future. Like if you're going to drink something or you're going to take some kind of a supplement or an additive, why not take something that makes you smarter, that makes your brain work at a higher level? I mean, dude, no offense to, everyone, dude, wandering around the planet a little bit smarter than the next guy is not a horrible thing. And if you can pick it up in a 2-ounce energy shot, that isn't actually energy, it's more, memory, focus, and, whatever, dude.
Sounds like Ritalin just without the side effects and the price.
It makes your brain work. I mean, there are peer-reviewed science on these ingredients that make your brain work at a higher level. One sends extra oxygen to your brain. The second ingredient makes your neurons fire faster and communicate information back and forth quicker. Makes words come to your mouth, thoughts. You don't have to double check stuff. Like it's bizarre. And then the last ingredient helps you take things that go into the part of your brain that work with short-term memory, and it kind of helps produce a link to long-term memory, right? So things you're reading and studying, because everyone who takes, Adderall always wants to talk about, I need it for studying and whatever. Dude, it's low-grade methamphetamine, right? It's technically what it is. So yes, meth will, I guess meth, focuses you for a while, which generally when you're doing meth, I guess from what I've seen of meth heads, it just focuses you on going out and robbing and stealing or doing something to get more meth. So you're really focused on getting more meth. That just seems to be the only thing you chase down. But, this being all herbal and holistic, dude, it's great. Like, I mean, I haven't had Diet Mountain Dew all day, which is a ton of caffeine, and I'm normally like a 2 liter and a 1 liter at this point, and nothing. I sipped on the Adderall. I took 2 ounces, a 2-ounce shot of it, and I'm still like, I'm not tired. I'm gonna go home and probably be up until like 1 or 2 o'clock, still fiddling
that
around.
was how I was able to
Go
get
to
the
a club or catch
vidIQ
up
up
on
so
Netflix.
fast. Because I asked if I could have the rest of the Adderall, and then I took that. And then
Did you do it that day?
Yeah, it was that day. It was just sitting there by the computer. I said, "Jay, can I have the rest of that?" You're like, "Yeah," and then that's how I was able to get that up so fast.
That is true. And you didn't, you did it like it was nothing. Good. So I'll be giving you a bottle when you go through Podbean to figure out all the cool little shenanigans that go along with it. Because I probably will be handing you this computer and go, cool, take these up, and it's about as easy because everything is in our folder. We'll look at our folder here, boom, boom, boom. Then I pull that same the same because it's on YouTube, and then I just copy whatever we have on there, put it in Podbean, put it in its description and title and whatever, but then remembering that it was 3642, right? 3642, because you're looking through when you're uploading it from the folder, it doesn't say the only identifier is the length of the video. So the length of the video, then you have to look at YouTube to figure out which one is the one that's the length of the video, then open it, pause it, take your description and take everything off, put it in that one while it's uploading. So
my brain will melt.
yeah, no, so that's what I did like all night last night and all night tonight, was digging through that folder, uploading random stuff and whatever. But I got good hopes for the Podbean. I think it'll be neat. So yeah, and the donate button where you're gonna be the homeless co-host that please donate. Like this girl, she only got one headband. Like we need to get her a couple more headbands. She'll be rocking that white one a lot. Maybe we can, a portion of your proceeds will go to getting new headbands for the young lady. So we'll see how that works. So Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com.